Jesus said to his disciples, "There is no need to be afraid, little flock, for it has pleased your Father to give you the kingdom. Sell your possessions and give alms. Get yourselves purses that do not wear out, treasure that will not fail you, in heaven, where no thief can reach it, no moth destroy it. For where your treasure is, there will your heart be also. See that you are dressed for action and have your lamps lit. Be like men waiting for their master to return from the wedding feast, ready to open the door as soon as he comes and knocks. Happy those servants whom the master finds awake when he comes. I tell you solemnly, he will put on an apron, sit them down at table, and wait on them. It may be in the second watch he comes, or in the third, but happy those servants if he finds them ready. You may be quite sure of this, that if the householder had known at what hour the burglar would come, he would not have let anyone break through the wall of his house. You too must stand ready, because the Son of Man is coming at an hour you do not expect." Peter said, "Lord, do you mean this parable for us or for everyone?" The Lord replied, "What sort of steward then is faithful and wise enough for the master to place him over his household, to give them their allowance of food at the proper time? Happy that servant if his master's arrival finds them at his employment. I tell you truly, he will place him over everything he owns. But as for the servant who says to himself, 'My master is taking his time coming,' and sets about beating the men servants and the maids, and eating and drinking and getting drunk, his master will come on a day he does not expect, and an hour he does not know. The master will cut him off and send him to the same fate as the unfaithful. The servant who knows what his master wants, but has not even started to carry out those wishes, will receive very many strokes of the lash. The one who did not know, but deserves to be beaten for what he has done, will receive fewer strokes. When a man has had a great deal given him, a great deal will be demanded of him. When a man has had a great deal given him on trust, even more will be expected of him." Years since I've been on a plane, and it's a shame because I enjoy flying and I enjoy going to foreign places, but I haven't been on a plane for a long time. And the last time I was, it wasn't such a positive experience. The first thing they did when we sat down was to tell us that there was a chance the plane was going to crash. They didn't blurt it out all at once. They tried to dress it up and disguise it as saying something else, but we knew what they were saying. We already had it in our minds. There's a chance this plane will crash. They started off well enough. Welcome aboard the flight. That's lovely. Hope you're comfortable. Have a pleasant flight. We'd just like to draw your attention to a few of the safety features on our plane. That's where it started to go wrong. Safety features, they say. But safety features they want to talk about are things like life belts and emergency exits. The clue's in the name. It's an emergency exit. It's not the normal way of getting in and on and off planes. Oxygen masks falling from the ceiling. They're not safety features. They're the features of a plane you hope you never have to rely on. Safety features to me are things like a well-trained pilot, radar that stops you crashing into mountains and other planes, that little thing that makes a noise to wake the pilot up if he gets too close to the ground. They're safety features. They give you confidence that all is well. What the cabin crew talk about are things you might need if the plane goes down. And I don't want to think about that possibility. That takes the shine off flying. That takes the shine off a holiday. But no, they insist in telling you about them. In the unlikely event that the plane should go down over the sea. Crash into the sea, they mean. Crash. In the event that the plane crashes into the sea, this is where the life rafts are. I could quite happily go through life without ever finding out where a life raft is on a plane. And if it should ever be needed, I want to be confident that the staff on the plane will provide it. I won't need to be the one going looking for it to find it for myself. No. Safety features my eye. They're telling you this plane might crash. And that took the shine off flying. The good thing is, very few people listen to the safety talk on planes, do they? I mean, once you've heard it once, well, you know what they're going to say, and you don't listen because you don't want to think about planes going down, whether you need oxygen or not, whether something else goes wrong. It's not natural being stuck thousands of feet in the air in a tin can anyway. You don't want to think about it too much. So we don't. We don't listen. We watch in the hope that the flight attendant is going to do or present something in an entertaining way because we've been waiting hours in an airport, but we don't really listen to what's being said. And it's a shame because it's not meant to frighten, but it could. I think we can approach Jesus in today's gospel in a similar way. Just like the safety talk on a plane, Jesus starts in a positive way. There's no need to be afraid. God has already given you the kingdom. Oh, that's great. But then there's the safety features. But you are going to be judged whether you're worthy for that kingdom or not. And you've got to be ready for that judgment. Sometime it can creep up on you like a thief in the night. You've got to be ready. But just like the staff on a plane, Jesus doesn't intend to frighten anyone. We frighten ourselves by putting too much emphasis on the when the master returns, the unexpected nature of the arrival of the master. We have to be ready when that eventuality comes about. And it will. There will be judgment. But that's not what Jesus is talking about. It's not trying to frighten us into some, you've got to be ready when this happens. It's about being ready, but not for some remote future event. It's about being ready now, in this moment, here and now. It's about living to the very best of your ability for the kingdom of heaven. Then you've got nothing to worry about in the future, because each and every moment you are living for the kingdom and it will never overtake you. It's about being kind. It's about helping those who are in need. It's about loving our neighbor, about forgiveness, about bringing hope and healing and encouraging one another. If we're getting that right, then the words of Jesus in the gospel aren't anything to be fearful of. No, they are something that comforts us as we continue our journey towards the fullness of that kingdom. Question is, do we listen to them? Or do we shut out the bit that we are frightened of? The invitation is to hear what is really present in that gospel. That promise of joy, of being for the kingdom, by living for the kingdom. Not eventually, at some point in the future, but here and now.